Welcome, teenies new and old, to Wits and Crits, a roundtable Q&A style podcast hosted by me, your dice goblin and resident vanilla guard boy loving ship gremlin, Hayden Davio. I'm the player for Aviana Kolesh, Regan Alis, and Fianula Ione. So, for those of you who are finding us for the first time, hi, hello, we are Nat 19. We're a group of actors, performers, and improvisers who have come together through our love of storytelling and mutual nerdery. Today on the show, I have Anna Garcia and Eric Embleton. Say hello.
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 Again, welcome. Thank you guys for coming back. I much appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Yes. Again, so starting with Anna, why don't you introduce yourself to the fine teenies at home or in their car or somewhere in the forest? I don't know what you're doing. Maybe you're making a daisy chain or something, which, you know what?
Maybe you're in the bathroom and you're in the bathroom and you had some Chipotle today and now you're paying for it.
But you know what? We're glad
we're here. Don't worry. You're not alone.
We're also in the bathroom with that Chipotle.
That person in the stall next to you, now they know about Nat 19 too.
So you know what? You're doing the Lord's work. Thank you
exactly.
for promoting our show from the bathroom stall at
Chipotle.
Texas, at Chipotle or Texas Roadhouse or wherever.
Your part.
You're doing your part. That person in the stall next to you, they didn't do fucking shit.
Sorry.
No, I love it.
She's like, wherever you are. Maybe you're in the bathroom.
Who knows?
Where were we?
Introduce yourself to the teenies and tell them who you play, who you is. All that good.
Well, I am Anna. I am also go by Squeaky, the long name Squeaky Chiona. I am I was actually gonna joke that I'm also a toilet goblin because I'm also always in the bathroom. and I play Marile Injustice. I play Lilia Laporte. And I've also played Constance Colibri in DMS, Gilligan's Grave, and the Crystal Tieflings one-shot, respectively.
Heck yeah! What about you, Eric?
I play Kyra in the Princess of the Apocalypse, and I play the Geno boy in DMS, or I played Geno, and I played Omar and Callus in Heckin' Vestige of Ophiuchus.
Yeah. Heck yeah! So, those are our lovely, lovely guests for today, and I'm closing tabs that I don't need to be. I closed our questions tab like a fool. So, for those of you who don't know how our show works, or just need a little refresher, I have a sexy little dice tower here, and I've got some dice here with me. I'm gonna roll the dice to see who the question is for, and then I will roll it again to see which question we will be asking. And this is a roundtable form, so if our guests have follow-up questions for each other, or they just have questions in general that come to mind, feel free to speak up, speak your mind. So, ask your question. So I'm gonna roll the first dice. It's for Eric. I got them for you.
What's
Let me
up?
find out which one. That's a 2. Okay. Kyra's broom isn't looking too good. Are there any other magical weapons that are on our favorite wizard's mind?
In terms of, like...
What she would like to perhaps use in lieu of that, but also, I'm gonna change the question a bit. How's Kyra doing with the fact that her broom is looking a little bit toasty?
She's sad about it. She really liked that broom. She's trying to think of ways to maybe fix it, and is contemplating using her wishes for it.
Oh my god.
But that's a little lower on her priority list than a lot of other things right now. But yeah, it's real sad. She wants to take it to like a shop and get it fixed, but we don't have fucking time for that.
The apocalypse is just happening. It's fine.
Yeah, that's whatever.
Plenty of time to get another one. If she could replace it, or like if she had to replace it, what would be like her optimum replacement item for her funny broom?
Well, anything that lets her fly at will would be an easy pick. She was about to before Yuri showed up and all that stuff happened. She was gonna copy down the fly spell because she has a spell book with that in it. So I was just like, all right, well, I guess if I can't use my broom for a while, then I'm gonna fucking do it some other way. As far as items go, though, yeah, something that like increases her mobility and allows her to like get a leg up in that regard would be really good, because she didn't just use it to fly, she also used it to get around faster. Which is a big, it's a big blow all around.
Oof.
But yeah, something like that probably.
I mean, that makes sense.
I don't know off the top of my head all the items that would let her do that, except for the broom of flying. But I didn't want to just say another broom of flying because that's a boring answer.
No, you can't. You can say the boring answer. Be like, I just want my broom, man. Because I probably would have said the same shit. Be like, all right, fine, I'll give you the fun answer. But in reality, I just want my broom.
Yeah, in reality, I just want this broom fixed or another broom. Like,
nah, it's more than fair.
I'm trying to think what would be like cool for Kyra, but I unfortunately do not have every magical item memorized in my body of knowledge. So.
I remember looking at the Lyra's Retia setting guide, which you can buy now on DriveThruRPG.
What?
Yeah, it has a ton of new items and spells and monsters in it.
What? Hashtag not sponsored.
I mean, no, we're not, because it's our
company.
We're not.
Yeah, exactly.
Hashtag not an ad.
Like a fucking Arby's commercial comes on. It's like sponsored by Arby's. Like,
huh?
Oh my god.
Like, not sponsored, but AO Arby's.
I never went to Arby's.
I think I've been once.
More than me.
I don't know if I've been ever either. But yeah.
It was fast food.
Yeah, it's fast food. But I remember I was looking at the items in that book and I'm like, man, a lot of these would be really fucking cool for her to have. I just imagine her having like some of those things. I'm just like, oh man, what if? That'd be crazy. But unfortunately, she can't get any of those.
Oh.
You never know. Erin might be like, let me sprinkle some shit in here. You never know. As a little treat. As a sweet little treat.
Just a little treat.
It's like, Erin, you already give us so much. And I love you so much. What about a little treat? A sweet little treat. Just for Kyra. Please?
Yeah. Just for me.
Yeah.
Just for me.
Do it. Do it again, just for me.
Do it now. This was not a request.
No, I just got that freaking Miku meme in my head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know what you were doing. I thought we were just doing silly voices.
I mean, yes.
My attempt at a Miku.
I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty great. For me. Do it again.
Do it again, just for me.
Dude, you have the cadence down. That's crazy.
Duka can have whatever she wants. She can have whatever she wants because I have her tea. You remember those Caesars?
I've been practicing, but that's only because of Dizuzumaki. I'm not going to claim it. Dizuzumaki knows what they're doing. Anywho.
Anyway. Thank you for
I digress.
And I have a question for you. Okay. Alright, so with the recent reveal that Pepper is a Kitsadria in Gilligan's Grave, how is Lilia feeling about Pepper keeping so many secrets from the party, and as well as the secret of like her true form and her true heritage?
So it's gonna feel anticlimactic to say that Lilia is not super surprised, because unfortunately Pepper was really bad at hiding that she's hiding something. Like, she has been very vocal about, I'm hiding things from you guys, I can't tell you, but please trust me. And while Lilia has kept people relatively at a distance because of that, it's definitely not the worst thing that Lilia could have imagined. Not saying that Lilia's imagined the worst possible case scenario, but it's that thing of like,
Yeah, I'm kind of not surprised that she's a fox.
like, it's now here's the thing. I think I had said it in during I might have said it during the stream, or maybe I said it off stream, but I accidentally had this spoiled for me a while back when I was looking at the party sheet in Fantasy Grounds. It was like Kitsadria, and in my head I was like, I'm gonna have to pretend I didn't see that. I'm gonna have to pretend I didn't see that. But then there was something that Pepper did in game that is a Kitsadria ability that halflings do not have on their sheet, that Lilia, who has lived around gnomes and halflings and all of that, would know that they can't do that. And while she could think of a reason as to why maybe Pepper is the exception, like, well, she's from the outside, maybe she's just different, it's not entirely off the cuff to say that she didn't look at that and just stow that in the back of her head for a rainy day. She's glad that, like, Pepper is now, that slowly things are coming out, and that Pepper is willing to talk about them as she's able to talk about them. So there is no animosity. There's no she's not like distrustful of Pepper in that she's gonna pull a fast one on us, or it's only a matter of time before like we really see who Pepper is. She wants to believe that Pepper is who she claims she is. But at the same time, it's still like keeping some suspension of disbelief. I hope this is making sense. I feel like I'm rambling.
No, it is. No, this makes a lot of sense.
Like, she's like, right now, aside from the fact you're hiding things, I don't have anything that tells me that you're a bad person. And at the same time, like, these secrets will come out eventually because you very clearly want to talk about these things, because you know that they might, that if you were able to talk about things, you know that we would be on your side. So just, they will happen, and we will learn when it's time for us to learn and find out. Or when everything goes to shit and it's like, well, now that everything's going to shit, let me just tell y'all while I was here and what was happening and all that stuff. So Lilia's not too surprised. She's kind of seeing where things go, but she's not leaning one way or another. She still sees Pepper as Pepper the first day they came in. She will still be thinking and keeping her eye on Pepper, but she's not gonna be like swinging her sword around the moment Pepper is just even the tiniest bit sus, because everyone's got their secrets. Everyone has things they don't want to say or share, and she is no different in that aspect. So it'd be kind of hypocritical to be that way at Pepper. She doesn't like that cat, though. Fuck that cat. Fuck that cat, though.
Moonlighting is a bitch.
Bitch.
It lives in my brain forever, dude.
Slap that on a shirt.
Slap that on a shirt. Make that an animatic. That's so funny.
Make that a sticker.
It's like, why do you have moonlighting as a bitch on your shirt?
Yeah.
So
Just have that there.
19.
Yeah, just put like, I sometimes moonlight as a bitch. chalk that up at one of my best one-liners.
It's
One of my
so
best
funny.
one-liners right there.
Dude,
that one,
I
that
gotta
just
say,
happened.
you're so funny as Lilia. You let the gremlin fly, and it's so fucking funny. I told you this, but I want to say this on the podcast. During that episode of Gilligan's Grave, I was listening live as I was, like, waiting to get off the plane and getting off the plane back in
Yep.
Dallas. And it was all I freaking had not to burst out laughing at you just throwing shade, and it was so funny. And I was like, you know the face that people make when you're like trying so hard not to laugh and there's the vein popping and everything? That was me. Like, my eyes open wide, clamping my teeth shut, like, you cannot burst out laughing right now. You cannot. Because if you do, you're gonna look fucking crazy. And I'm sure I was making some crazy eyes trying to hold it in, but I was dying. You are very funny. And I was like, oh my god.
I have to find, like, the one picture that whenever I think of someone containing laughter, I always think of, and man, chat, like, chat isn't gonna get to see it, but it's this one. I put it in our little call chat. That's whenever I think of someone restraining. Oh, there goes Eric. When I think of someone restraining laughter, they're back.
I tried to click on call chat and I was one short. It was one option short.
That face.
That was the fucking face. That was the face I was making in the airport. It was that. Oh my god, I was dying. It was so funny. Like, we have had people say to us, they're like, I am working and my coworkers think I'm crazy because I just laughed out loud really hard while I have my headphones in, and I don't know how to explain to them what I'm laughing about.
Mm-hmm.
I get it now. All right? I get it now. I was never judging you before because I believed you. But having been the one trying not to look insane, I get it. Solidarity, teenies.
Yep.
So good. I love Gigi. Probably gonna be listening to some while I do other things about the house today.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's so good. Oh. Okie dokie. Let's see. Wow, the dice are really just like, what if I just go back and forth today? And that's fine by me. Thank you, guys.
Hell yeah.
Hey, for Eric.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is the one I was hoping would get asked next, because it's juice.
Oh boy.
So, to Kyra.
Uh-huh.
Somnus Domina and its interactions with magic tell a sordid tale. Politically, where would Kyra stand if they were from Retia? Would they side with the realm, lean to the side of caution and keep magical training and power, you know, clean when it comes to, like, the academy, and the academy being like, so, magic jail over here because you're too powerful? Or so that would they try to, like, kind of stay, like, above board and be like, I'm good, I'm Gucci? Or would they find delight in, like, having, like, secret crazy magical powers, like a la Miriam, being like, hey, I'm a walking fucking crime right now. Where would she kind of lean if she were from Retia? Like,
She
if
would,
was dealing with the magic stuff.
on principle, be a walking crime. In that regard.
Yeah.
She would be like, you want to fucking put a collar on me and limit my potential for this thing that I have fucking dedicated my life to? Fuck you. This is evil. How dare you? She would absolutely hate that. So yeah, no, she'd just, I guess, try not to. I don't know exactly what she'd do, but she'd be very much like, no, this, you, I will not let you limit me in that way and send me to your fucking wizard prison camp. How dare you?
Would she try to, like, keep her head down a little bit and try to just, like, alright, unless I'm in very specific places. Ooh, I can make fire in my hand. That's it, I swear. I can just do that with my body.
I mean, probably, just to avoid having to deal with, like, the hassle of, being chased constantly.
Mm-hmm.
But I could also see her, in some realities, being like, nah, I'll be on the run. Fuck that shit. Like, I'll use magic however, wherever I want. Like, you ain't my mom. You can't fucking control me.
You're not my mom. You don't know me.
You don't know me.
That's my magic. I don't know you.
I'm a bad bitch. You can't
Kill me.
No, I mean, that
But
makes
yeah.
sense.
Hmm.
That also feels just very in line with Kyra. It's like, no. Because she is so stubborn as well.
How dare you suggest that, even? Like...
Do you think she would, like, maybe look into, like, a mystery college of, like, the arcane arts or something? Like, you know, try to, like, learn magic stuff, like, a little bit more privately? Or would she just go full, I guess I'm on the run now, fuck y'all?
I think she'd want to try to live a comfortable life using but she would want to try to do it using magic freely, so she'd probably try to look into, like, living in a place where that's more accepted. Like, a place that isn't Retia, perhaps.
She's like,
Like,
time to go to Cahulis.
yeah, time to go somewhere where magic is cool. Like, where magic isn't illegal. Yeah, she'd want to have her cake and eat it too, but in Retia she would have to kind of choose one or the other. So she'd definitely look into how to resolve that dilemma.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's like, God, how would that look? Like, especially, like, considering, like, our party, there's so many, like, it's, like, especially, like, Regan and Kyra, two very magic-heavy. I can't remember exactly what the laws are with, like, druids in Retia. I'll have to, like, look into the guide again, because I know Logan outlined it. But it's, like...
Isn't it, like, sorcery is, like, the big no-no? Like, sorcery and pact magic are the big, like,
yeah. Which is crazy, because I'm like, yeah, but they're just... That's just their body.
Why is that the more illegal one? They're the one that they can't help it. Like,
they can't help it. Whereas, like, the wizards, sorry, Kyra, the wizards are like, hey, I'ma learn this crazy shit.
I'm gonna learn to bend the laws of physics to my will.
On purpose. Whereas sorcerers are like, so I am magic incarnate. What do you want from me here? Which
I think the whole thing with that is that it's because it's more unpredictable or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Is how it's seen.
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like the ones that can learn anything at any time they want are pretty fucking unpredictable as well.
Mm-hmm. They're like, no, fuck it all. Burn it to the ground. I'm like, you suck. Fuck you, Rasputin. Yeah, I remember his name. Fuck you, guy from the academy.
Yeah, fuck that guy. He showed up one time when I was Omar, and he was a fucking dick.
He was such a bitch. I'm like, you're gonna be a bitch in the presence of my son, Omar Lawson? Are you kidding me? You're gonna be a bitch in his presence? Alright, square up, motherfucker. I, as Avi, almost decked him in the goddamn face. I'm like, don't start shit. Don't start shit, but I really want to start shit.
Yeah.
Fuck this guy, but my friends are they're all magic users, so... Ah! SMH my head, bro.
SMH my fucking head.
I hate him. It's okay. In Vestige, we're gonna break the most magical man out of there. It'll be great.
Hell yeah.
I mean, that's probably how it'll end up going. even though we're trying to be like, okay, but I think I said it during it just reminded me, I'm like, I think I said it during the epilogue where it's like, okay, so I know this is gonna sound crazy coming from me, like, as Avi, like, I know this is gonna sound crazy coming from me. But we do have a contact within the academy. We do know this guy named Vortem. What if we tried to go the legal route and just get, like, go visit, you know? What if we just try to go talk to Greg?
Can you release your most magical, most chaotic man, please? Thank you very much.
It's like I'm not even asking to, like, release him. It's like, can we just, like, talk to him? Can we start there? And everyone's like, who are you? And what have you done to Avi? It's like, listen, man, I'm trying to be better, okay? I'm dating the most lawful motherfucker in the world. Ah!
I'm dating a cop. Give me a minute here.
For real.
The amount that if faced with that situation, Kyra would be like, no, let's burn the entire fucking academy to the ground.
I mean,
Like,
Avi and
release
her
every prisoner there and just burn the whole place to the ground.
It's a whole fucking thing. The academy stresses me out. Like, next to, like, the big bad in Vestige, the academy is what, like, stresses me out the most between the two, honestly.
What about it?
Because we're walking around with fucking, like, Miriam.
Oh, I see.
Why.
Yeah, I get it now. I understand.
That's all I had to say, and I knew you'd get it.
I've heard the legends. I've heard the tales of his crazy antics.
His shenanigery. I love him dearly, but Jesus fuck. But yeah, no, like I say about many of our characters, I think Avi would like Kyra, and I think she would be like, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, let's burn it down. Fuck it, let's go. Party. Girls' night.
Give me a few weeks. I'm gonna make fucking nuclear fireball, and we'll nuke it from orbit.
Amazing. They'll never know. They will never know. We'll just blame it on Vestius.
Sure.
Like, yeah, it's
whoever
just a
that
fire
is.
Cannon. It's the goddess of magic within Somnus Domina.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah. Oh, Kyra. Yeah, Kyra be like, who's that? A bitch. She's a bitch.
Yeah. Goddesses of magic. They really aren't. They're batting zero right now.
Yep.
We're 2 for 2 on awful goddesses of magic.
We sure are. God damn it, Mistra. Oy vey. Well, you know what also is magic? More questions, and I got a question for you.
Wah.
And that is that one. Ooh, okay. For Lilia. Lilia decided to fill in the governor on Laurie's situation, then threatened him to keep quiet. What was her thought process when she made these choices?
Huh. The thought process was not there. It was, how do I explain this? I'm trying to remember where I was in this moment, because I think at the moment I was like slightly being distracted by something. So when I caught the governor started talking to Lilia, it was like, oh, he thinks there's something up with Lawrence. And then she was kind of like, okay, only an idiot is going to look at Lawrence being in this group and not thinking something's up, especially if this kid has no relation to us. And that was that thing where bringing up Lawrence's situation and then subsequently following it with, don't fucking talk or we're just leaving you here, probably wasn't Lilia's best moment. But at the same time, it's that thing of she was kind of just done with this whole little excursion in the pit. Where it was like, we found the governor. Thank God we found the governor. But we weren't sent here to find the governor. She doesn't see herself as a very politically aware person. But at the end of the day, it was just kind of if there's a possibility of this man connecting the dots and putting Lori in a situation that they don't want to be in, if she has to be a little bit pushy and be that person, she was going to be fine with it. She wasn't sure if anybody else would be able to... Maybe Skarn. He's big and tall and scary. But considering who Desmond is, considering Pepper's not from here, and then Lori is, again, a child, who else is going to be able to be like, hey... I'm going to be transparent with you. This is the situation, but you best not speak. Or it's on. You don't want to know what happens when it's on. And would she be able to stand by these threats? I mean, possibly not, but she just has to make him think that she can. And again, it seemed to have worked. And then I think, if I'm remembering what happened after that, I think he talked to Skarn afterwards. Mm-hmm. And then Skarn, in his own way, ended up reinforcing this without him and Lilia having talked. So it's really funny how they were kind of both in that ballpark of, yeah, this is what's going on, but don't you say shit. You know what happens to snitches. So I can't tell you where the thought process was, because I don't even remember where I was. As soon as I caught aware of, oh, the governor is trying to talk to Lilia and they're noticing something's off with Lawrence, it was like, oh, it's game. It's game. So Lilia always felt like at some point someone's gonna find out what's going on with Lawrence. Again,
yeah,
he's a kid that none of us are related or tied to in any way, shape, or form. He has no reason to be around us. And especially no reason going down to the pits and doing what we're doing. Where's his parents? Any reasonable person would be asking this question. So it was just a matter of time. And it just became a matter of what circumstance were we going to be in when this question is asked.
Yeah.
And yeah. And the only thing is how do we keep him quiet? In this case, right now, it's only the governor has had half enough of a brain to ask. But yeah, that my brain was somewhere that day.
I mean,
she doesn't regret it though.
Would you say Lilia's like just become generally like protective of Lawrence? Like,
oh, absolutely. As someone who has younger siblings, and like, as someone who has not only been responsible for the safety of others. And then as a big sister herself, she sees Lori and she's like, no, this child is pretty darn capable. But the key word here is that they're still a child. They still need to be protected. They still need to have their best interest in mind, but we also can't neglect what they have to say, how they feel, what they want. And yeah, it is dangerous that we've brought this kid here. We know he shouldn't be here. But right now, the alternatives he does not want and don't seem to be what's in his best interest, despite what some people might disagree. And she thinks she's pretty capable, so she's like, I'll protect him. And if not me, then Skarn. If not me, then if not him, then Pepper. If not Pepper, then Lawrence, then Desmond. And I mean, we're all pretty capable, so we've got it. Don't worry. Don't worry.
And
good. If not, he's good. The kid will be all right. The kid will be all right. He's shown he's pretty capable. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's a fucking child prodigy. He, honestly, outside of needing some parenting, he's a capable kid.
Yeah, he's a very, very capable kid, and it's not fair for a bunch of adults that don't know him and don't know what he's capable of to just decide where he goes and he not have a say in it. He is only 10 years old, but it's not going to be that long until he is able to make his own decisions and have a say in what goes on in his life.
No, exactly.
It's just now as adults that he at least trusts more than the House of Uplifting or the current government. He trusts that we know, or at least are thinking about his interest at heart. Because if we didn't, we would have just given this kid up to Desmond would have given him up to the House of Uplifting a long time ago. And that's the thing too. Desmond being the oldest adult out of all of them and saying the kid's fine with me is also a reassurance that like we've got this. We can help Lawrence figure it out. Right now, this child doesn't need to be told how to live, or like I hope I'm wording this properly. He doesn't need to be told how to live and have other people decide what's the best course of action. Lawrence, despite being a kid, tends to know more than he puts on, and definitely like just needs to be listened to. He needs to be able to have some semblance of input in what is to go on with his life. And right now he wants to be with the party and he wants to be with Desmond. He's made it pretty clear that he's not going to be good if he's separated from anyone. Right now we're as good as a foster family as this kid has right now.
Yeah, and I think that makes perfect sense, and I think Lawrence having even just like a family unit of like a foster family kind of unit is so important for him.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, who knows how shit's gonna go? Things are pretty bleak, from what I understand.
Yeah. With how some things are going, with the fact that a governor was somehow dragged to the pits and potentially assassinated for the sake of rising a cult, she's not really trusting government facilities right now.
Not really trusting government run facilities right now. I don't know about you, Scarn. What's the... I don't know anybody who came from the House of Uplifting that's doing well for themselves.
Yeah. Even just a place called the House of Uplifting, I'm like, well, this place is a shithole, huh?
Couldn't it call something anything happier? Just anything happier.
It's
uplifting.
Like, uplifting. It's like, yay. It's like, no, because it sounds positive, I know in my heart that shit's fucked.
Yeah, it just doesn't roll off the tongue in a way that it's just like, yeah, these people know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. Great. Yeah, we'll see where things go, because yikeroonies, my guy.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see where the chips fall, but...
Definitely.
I'm gonna see where this dice falls. Ewick.
Ha.
Huh. The dice are real. This die, it's really just like, nah. Even Stevens.
Good structure today.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Good structure.
go.
Good job, Lord of the Rings D4. I appreciate you. Okay. Hey, so Kyra, you got a big brain. You're full of the smarts and the biggest of brains. Your brain is so wrinkly, and you're so talented. What are some of Kyra's theories about what's going on with Kusk and the cults? Like, we've learned a lot at this point, but there's still some unanswered questions. What's going through Kyra's mind in regards to all that?
Well, her understanding of the situation right now is that this god is like latched onto him basically from wherever it is. The abyss, I think, is where we learned it actually is. And it's just gonna follow him no matter what. no matter where we go, unless we go somewhere completely disconnected. And Mistra is basically like, I'm content to just, kick this problem down the road 400 years and let it be someone else's problem in perpetuity. So she's like, fuck that. I want to save my friend. Also, I don't want this to be someone else's problem in 400 years. As far as unanswered questions go, what's an maybe I'm blanking right now because it's been a month. But what are some other questions that we had that weren't answered?
How do you mean? Like in regards to questions that we had in regards to
because you mentioned in the question that some of the questions were unanswered.
Oh, that was just me riffing off of it because it feels like there's still stuff that we don't know. So if there's anything else rolling through Kyra's mind outside of what we have learned.
Okay. Outside of what we've learned, I mean, she's not deities and religion and all that kind of stuff. They aren't her specialty really at all. So when it comes to that aspect of all this, she's kind of just winging it.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, she knows some gods. She knows about Mistra probably the most because obviously, goddess of magic and everything. But even then, she doesn't know Mistra's way of handling things. She's just under the impression that oh, she's a god, she can help, right? Oh, she can't? Fuck. So she basically her understanding is basically everything Yuri described. She doesn't have too many theories about how to deal with this other than the way we've been presented, or going into the abyss itself and trying to kill a literal god, which sounds less plausible.
If we were higher level, maybe.
If we were level 20 adventurers, then maybe.
Yeah.
But we're half that.
We can totally do it.
I mean, before this solution came up, that was something she was considering. Even though it's something that seemed impossible to her, but she's like, well, I want to help Kusk, and if this also puts an end to this crisis forever, then that's great. Basically, when the cults were all done, she'd be like, okay, so this is still a problem? Do you guys want to go to the abyss and try to kill a god?
I feel like if she had posited that to Regan would have been like, I mean, we have to come up with the logistics of it, but yeah.
Well, obviously, yeah, the logistics are that's the hard. Well, I mean, it's all hard. That's the first hurdle.
Figure out how to get there, but yes.
Because the notes they found said that it was so deep in the abyss that to try to go there would be suicide, basically. So to find a way to get down there was definitely something she was thinking about for a bit.
Wishes, right?
What's up?
Kyra, you got wishes, right? Right, girl?
I mean, yeah, she does. But now that this thing has been presented, I think she probably sees it as the best, the best and quickest way to make sure Kusk is okay.
Yeah.
So she's kind of leaning on that now. And yeah, as far as plans for the future, she's really kind of she's at the end of the tracks. She's putting them down right before she hits them. She doesn't have anything laid out anymore.
Yeah, because it's kind of what can we do at this point? We can theorize till the cows come home. We can try to find alternate routes, but at the end of the day, Kusk has basically no time left. His body is being poisoned by, like, the godly magic that is flowing through him and through his connection to all of it. He is being poisoned. Kusk
I forgot about the poison part, honestly.
Kusk is actively dying right now.
Yeah.
So like, it's like, fuck. We gotta
immediate
act
solutions,
fast.
please.
That makes me think, it's like, if we could wish for literally anything, I'm like so interested. It's like, what would happen if we were like, I wish to separate Kusk and this god? It's like, fuck.
Well, I think didn't Yuri basically say, like, it would work for a bit, but it would just latch onto him again?
It would either latch onto him again, or it would find someone else, or it would just restart the fucking cycle. It would, like, restart the timer in a way, but...
It would give some time, but it wouldn't fix anything.
No. And it's like, fuck! Okay! Yeah. It's a tough one, but honestly, I think that's why it's so juicy.
Yeah, it's robbed of like solutions and alternatives. It's trying to work with what you got is it can be real heckin' good, and it is.
I'm so in. God, I love Princes so much.
It's so good. I miss it so much.
Me too. Oh, I miss Princes so much. Oh, I know. I'm right there with you, buddy.
Yeah, that's been me. That's been me for all of October.
I know, because you... Oh. I'm like, please, let us come back ASAP. Please. Oh,
Could you spare princes, some spare princes, just like on the fucking corner of the street in a box.
Right, spare some princes. It's like that meme, or not that meme, but it's like that thing in like old cartoons where they put like a coin in a mug and they're just like shaking it.
Yeah.
You and I are like that meme of Squidward in the box.
Yep,
outside.
that's exactly what I was thinking about.
Change.
Spare change, sir.
Change for princes, please. But instead of like coins, it's dice. You're like, please. Spare D&D, please. Oh, it's fine. I'm sure Kusk will be fine.
Probably.
Fine.
Unless he dies fighting Kagutsuchi.
He'll be fine, I hope. It'll be fine. I got a question for Anna.
Oh.
Hey, Lilia. Got a question for you, you cute bunny.
Thank you. I am adorable.
Very adorable. How is Lilia dealing with what they learned about the parasite? Any theories on who the grave might belong to?
Like the funny parasite that gets in people's heads and fucks with their memories?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, but what do we do?
This is interesting. Because Lilia wouldn't say it, but so she'd be absolutely fucking lying if she said the idea of a parasite that vaguely appears in the form of like flowery whatsits and stuff and can be mistaken for flowers and actively fucks with people's memories. Considering the whole situation involving her prince and the fact that she only vaguely recalls bits and pieces of this person that changed the trajectory of her life. And she the first time in like a while she's talked about it with someone, she's my throat. She can't like recall their voice, recall their face, recall standout features. Like despite how important they are to her, she cannot describe them to you. Like, and now learning about the existence of this weird parasite that, like, Kag, his name was Kag, right? Yeah. Was, like, telling us about. It's just like, how, that might explain a thing, but I don't want to believe that that's the explanation for why my memory is so spotty. I'm gonna cope and hope that it's just memory and stuff. Because it's someone that she's been thinking about constantly. She knows she has. Her mother freaking spoiled that, like, as time went on, she would, like, write letters and never send them out to this prince. Like, this person has never left her mind, but if you ask her to describe them, she's got nothing. It's like, it's scary. It's scary. It's also what's made her hold on to, because it's been a thing in, like, the past couple sessions, the fact that she carries around a notebook and is now, like, not only drawing but, like, writing things down. Because now that she is aware that the pits, even if it's mostly just the deeper recesses, according to Kag, that there could be a parasite that fucks with memories and stuff like that. It's like, well, if I can't trust my brain, if I can't trust my memories, I can trust, hopefully, the words I write down as I learn them, the words that people tell me. And if I do forget, there is still something tangible that, like, proves that something existed at some point. She's kind of scared of it. She's kind of scared about it, but she wouldn't tell you that to your face, because she puts on a face a lot. She's pretty insecure about a lot of things that she doesn't talk about. This memory thing isn't helping. This memory thing isn't helping. And I think, I don't know if, like, in game, because I've heard the term amnesis, or what's it?
Yep,
the
that's
disease
the
that
amnesis in Vestige. It's a memory stealing disease. So basically, it can be, if I remember it right, because I learned about it kind of late, because they were dealing with it really up front in Vestige, but not as much when I was there. Because we're dealing with, like, more political plots. But it can be transferred by, like, fluid or blood. But also, there are certain places where there is amniotic gas. So if you inhale that, you will get amnesis, and it will start stealing your memories. And then you will eventually become, like, a zombie, essentially.
Yeah, so there's a bit of I can't remember if in Gilligan that's been brought up or mentioned in some way or form, but if it is, knowing that there's memory fucky-wuckies out there is a bit terrifying. And then how that correlates to this grave, that now knowing that it at least has to be from her mother's side of the family, that no one can recall who it could have belonged to. Unless she tries to, like, really look into it, she's not sure if she's gonna find anything. And the only person who seems like they might know something, which is Saun, she has... It clearly shows that she has no way of asking this person in a way that they can actually get an answer. And it doesn't seem like he doesn't want to tell her. It's that he literally can't, because of some weird shit going on with that, too. And, you know, she hasn't seen her brother in a while. Where's her brother? Where's her brother?
That's a big thing, like, that I've, like, noticed a couple times. I'm like, yeah, where's her brother?
Where's her brother? Like, and this is where, like, my own memory is a little shoddy, where I can't remember if Lilia has at least mentioned her brother once or twice, and I'm sure it's gotten some semblance of reply. But, I can't recall. But, like, her brother's usually gone for periods of time. And then hearing all this memory manipulation mumbo jumbo, this grave that isn't here, her brother's not here. She's a little paranoid right now about that. But again, she's always someone that tries to like think optimistically and think not try to let things show, like let bad things show on her face. So it's it's scary. It's scary. As we learn more about this memory manipulation stuff, and she thinks about that grave that has no name, that we don't know who it is, and it draws things up to concern. If we get to see her brother, it's going to be a huge load off her shoulder, but it's still also going to bring up so many questions, because if mom doesn't know who it is and brother's alive, then who the fuck is in this grave? And how is it that Sa'un knows and no one else? Like, Sa'un at this point is definitely involved in some way, shape, or form, and she can't get the answers. It's a bit. It's a bit.
Yeah, and being scared and being stressed out about all this and like not having all the answers, it's like, yeah, it's a mystery, but also
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel for Lilia and like the whole Gilligan's party, because there's so much, and it's so much all at once too.
Yeah, and that's that thing where it's like, with everything going on, like now we've got this death cult, now we've got the thing going on with like Moonthera's coming in and that being very, very suspicious, and what's going on with Laurie's mom. There isn't much of an opportunity for Lilia to be like, okay, but like what about what's going on my end here? Because really that grave is the only thing she's got that's like her, like everyone's got a mystery now that they are trying to figure out. Like Desmond's got what's going on here in the Undertow, who is there's potentially a Leona imposter out there, what's going on there. Skarn recently learning that his father might have been involved in some weird culty shit. Laurie with the whole thing with his mother and the circumstances surrounding her death and what she might have been involved with. Pepper and the whole organization that she comes from. And what's Lilia's mystery? Who's in this grave? And to her, it seems like the bottom, like it does not seem like a priority, but it's something she thinks about. But how do I put this on the table in a way that she feels the party will care about as urgently as everything else? It just doesn't feel as urgent to her compared to everything else. So that's also where it's like, when can I address this? Everyone else has so much more bigger, important things going on.
Yeah, I'd say, like, if I was gonna say anything to Lilia on that, it's like, girl, your stuff deserves to get solved too, and because it could be more wrapped up in things than she realizes, you know?
Yeah. It's just right now, what she's trying to do while still caring about what everybody else is doing, she's looking for dots and picking up dots so that she can put them together and be like, hey, there seems to be something going on here too that we need to consider. Because it's not to say that no one else has been caring about whatever mystery this grave has with Lilia, but at the moment, aside from Sa'un not being able to really talk about it, we don't right now seem to have any strings that are potentially leading back to this thing, so that everybody can look at it and be like, yeah, that was a thing we saw. That's a thing we don't have an answer to yet. We should go back and look at this. She doesn't feel, and me as a player also don't feel like there's enough strings leading us back there for her to really be like, hey guys, let's like push everything aside that we're working on and let's look at this again. So that's the kerfuffle she's in.
Fuck. Yeah. It's one of those where I'm like, God, there's so many things to consider. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. And like everything else is like bit by bit, every trail that everybody's got has been slowly picking up on dots. But right now, Lilia hasn't found her dots.
Mm-hmm. Does she think that maybe she'll find like pieces of what she's looking for within those other answers, or does she think it's disconnected?
No, she definitely feels like it's connected, because as as we saw in looking for the latch temples, because I remember, I'm remembering the series of events where it was like, I'm gonna ask Sa'un about this grave, I'm gonna ask him about what's going on, and he brings up latch temples. And then we go down in the search of a latch temple, and we don't find anything that explicitly can be connected to this grave, but we see this weird death cult. And then that has a bunch of dots for everybody else. So Lilia definitely has a feeling that everybody else's strings and their dots will eventually lead back to this grave. It's just right now, again, everyone is picking up their dots. So it's it's that thing of like, eventually I guess dots is a weird way of putting it. Everyone is finding their pieces of the puzzle in the pile. And right now, her pieces are somewhere under that. That right now, her digging for those pieces is just gonna muddy everyone else's pile in a way that it's gonna make it. She feels like it might make it difficult for everybody. So it's like, as we figure out everybody else's puzzle and make sure like this is your puzzle piece and this is your puzzle piece, then we slowly, make the haystack a little smaller, and she'll find that needle that she's looking for. But right now, that haystack is still pretty big.
Yeah, there's so much to sift through. And, like, unless y'all literally just take time to, have, a team meeting about this without spinning your wheels. And it's hard not to spin your wheels, like, when you're trying to figure all this shit out. It's like, fuck, what do we do here?
Yeah, everyone is right now is tackling this haystack in a different way. The last thing she wants to do is push someone away from the haystack because she's looking for whatever is in there that's hers. She'll find it eventually. She just needs to see where everybody else's land, because these puzzle pieces might end up being what helps her form this picture. But she just doesn't know yet. So it's a matter of time. She just needs to find the clues. And right now she's just, you have to solve all these little mysteries to really solve the big one. And the big one to her is this grave, but everyone's big mystery is different. So yeah. It'll come together surely.
I'm sure.
I feel so rambly in my answer.
No, I love it.
Rambling where it gets good on this show.
Yeah, no. Rambling is how we get other questions, and I literally built this show for all of us yappers. For us rambly bitches. You are rambling half as long as when I let Aaron just go, which is my favorite. I just get to sit there and go, and then what happened? That's my favorite. No, it's how I get more to these answers and shit like that. I love it. I'm asking you baseline questions to give you a springboard. You're doing fine. I love it. This is what I want. Okay, well, I have one more question for each of you. So, I'll bump down to Eric. Got a question for you.
Saw,
dude. So, Kyra.
What's up?
Does Kyra have any theories about what we will encounter beneath the temple we are in if we go down to deal with all this Kagetsuchi stuff? Does she have any theories about what's going on here, how it's connected to what we're doing? What's kind of going through Kyra's head right now, outside of, oh my god, my friend has magic poisoning, what do?
Well, she knows that we're gonna fight Kagetsuchi down there. That's been established. Or at least we're most likely going to. I assume we're going to, and she assumes as well. Because fuck that guy. But she's also I'm trying to remember all the information Casper disclosed, about what he saw. I think she's struggling to imagine how this place and Kagetsuchi are connected to such powerful interplanar, inter-universal travel. Because
I found my notes.
Thank you. I would appreciate a regaling.
All right, so I took point form notes about what Yuri said. So, honestly, this is a good refresh for us, if anything. So, and some of these I might not have got everything. Some of these might be like short form. So we have sealed 2 nodes of the 3, because I think there was...
Of the 4.
Of the 4, yeah. We sealed 2 nodes of the 4.
And we took one of the weapons, basically rendering it useless to the cult.
Yes. So we sealed away Ogremok and Imix. Waterdeep is moving in on the cult of the Crushing Wave. They are led by Mordenkainen and Elminster. Elminster and Mordenkainen are coming for Kusk because they're like, well, we deal with this motherfucker, and then it restarts the 400-year cycle, but it stops the problem now. So Yuri came to warn us. She's like, hey, y'all. So shit's bad. The Crystal Sphere is in danger because of Kusk. Because of him being connected to all of this shit. And Kusk is a danger to the multiverse.
Yes.
Which, fuck.
Goddamn.
And Kusk currently is being poisoned by the aspect of the god that is within him. We would have to destroy the source of the divinity connected to Kusk, which goes back to what we were talking about earlier, when it's like, I guess we go kill a god.
I guess we're going full JRPG.
Yep. All right, let's go. Time to Final Fantasy, y'all. Which, you know what? I'm about. Let's go. Level 10 against a god. We could do it.
Whoa.
Well, so were there any notes about specifically Casper and what he said about what he saw?
Let me see. We have to totally disconnect Kusk from the divinity. Kusk has maybe a couple days. Let me look up and see if I did that note.
Because I think I remember, but I want to know if I'm missing any details.
Looks like I didn't take notes about that. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. Basically, it's basically what I said, is where she's kind of confused as to how this place and Kagetsuchi has anything to do with, like, accomplishing what we're trying to do. Like, because this wasn't a wizard place, this was a monk temple.
Yeah.
You know, like, and that seems like very much the domain of mages. So, like, I think more so than theories, she's just kind of like completely at a loss. She's the opposite of having theories right now. She's like, I don't know how this is happening, but if you got a magic vision from your all-powerful deck of cards, then I'm gonna trust that. I'd say, I guess if I had to pick a theory, it's the Barris Bones theory. There is, but like, was Kagetsuchi also some kind of mage? Is, I guess, her like question right now. Because, like, how the fuck would you do this if you weren't? And also, it could be bad if you were a mage, because then you might fireball us, and that'd probably be bad. We could take it, but it's just, if you are a badass superhuman demigod thing on top of being a mage, that's gonna suck. But yeah, I think there are more questions than theories right now, and she only just got this information, so she's still kind of processing it. So maybe as we go further and learn more about this, then she'll be able to gather more.
Yeah, it's a tough one, because, like, the information about Kusk we have, that all makes sense and it all lines up. But it's like, how does Kagetsuchi work into all of this? So, even Regan's going, I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know. How do I fix this? Also very much, gee, that thing what I said might happen when Kusk used his powers a whole bunch, that sure is happening, huh?
Yeah.
Weird!
Told
Oh,
you
no.
so!
Literally, Regan is in full, I fucking told you so right now. The, Oh, boy,
Does anyone ever listen to me?
Literally, it's so funny. Cody called that shit. And he's like, I feel like Regan is the character where no one listens to her until it's too late. And then she gets to go, weird. Isn't that funny? How, weird and suspicious how the thing I said we shouldn't do with, that bad thing that I said was bad, but you didn't listen? Weird.
Yep.
Yeah, no, she's big in. I'm so worried that I shouldn't say I told you so. But I told you so. It's fine.
This outcome was predicted.
Oh, weird.
It's like, I think it...
This was
I do
avoidable.
think... I do think it probably would have happened eventually, even if he hadn't used his powers. But I think using the powers kind of accelerated it, is kind of like how I imagined it worked.
And then everyone was like, just use your godly powers. And Regan's like, guys, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
Kyra was very much against it as well, except for that one time where she was like, try it. But before that, and mostly after it as well, I was just like, dude, it's not worth it. Like, it's just like fucking, yeah, I feel like Regan's beating her head against the wall, and Kyra's like, kind of just there with her, hand on shoulder, being like, fucking fuck.
Yeah, it's like, our friends are stupid. It's like, I love them so much, but oh my god. Like, it's so easy. Like, in Regan brain, and I feel like Kyra to an extent, it's like, guys, it's easy not to touch the red button. It's really easy not to touch the big red button. But you keep slamming your faces into it over and over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah, basically.
You're running face first into fuck it territory. And now the apocalypse is literally on our doorstep. Would love if things could have been avoidable. Weird. Weird.
Yeah, Kyra definitely has had moments like that before of just like, why couldn't y'all just fucking not though? Like the time where oh shoot, I'm trying to remember exactly where we were. I think we were beneath the air temple, I want to say, where Kusk was like feeling that pulling him in like down a corridor or something, but the rest of the party was still upstairs, and Kyra was like, all right, I'm gonna go get Maxine real quick, you just wait here until I'm back. And like fucking clockwork, the second she's gone, he leaves, and it's like, god fucking damn it. Like, she loves him, but oh my god. Like, fuck you also, though.
It's a big thing of, it's like, you know, we are being sticks in the mud because we care about you. And yet.
Pero por qué? Pero por qué?
To quote my husband, pero what? I know I can't roll my R's very well, but I'm trying.
It's a fucking superpower to me. I don't understand how people do it.
It's
crazy.
Kiska fuck? Really? For real.
Nani the fuck?
Nani the fuck? Fucking the what? My theme song when I'm streaming.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know why, but singing shit to the Miraculous Ladybug theme song makes me feel better, and I don't know why.
It has a great theme.
It's great.
And that's the only good thing about it.
And that's it.
That's the thought. That's end of thought. It has a great theme song. Oh, we got one more question. And it's for our absolute baddie bunny, Lilia.
My bean.
I love her. Also, Squeaks, I need you to know I love your voice for Lilia. You can hear like the teeth and the cheeks in it. You can hear the bunny face. It's so good.
Wow,
I
you
love
really
it.
can. I hadn't noticed it before, but the second you said that, it just turned my brain onto it.
When I go into this little gremlin voice, the first thing I think of is just going so, and then it's just like, now just keep saying, just stay in there. And I kind of like not extend, I just kind of like push the front of my teeth just a little bit forward to kind of like simulate having like little buck teeth and just going like so I miss doing this voice. I used to have another character that this was the voice I used to play with them. So if you like my gremlin, there's another campaign I can point people to. But like, yeah, gremlin. This is just them.
I love it though, because like you can really hear it, and I'm like, oh, that's a mark of like a really good like character voice, where it's like, no, I can hear the character in the voice. It's awesome.
She's a little. It's like it's a shitter voice.
Oh, absolutely it is, but it's awesome, and I really wanted to commend you on it because I love it.
Thank you.
No, I've never heard a squeaky voice where I'm like, that doesn't feel like it should come out of that character. Like it always really works. You're very good at that. So
thank you. It means a lot.
You're so good. So for Lilia, considering what had been said about the possibility of the image of Lori's mother being used to deceive or hurt the party, is Lilia concerned about her prince being used in the same way?
That thought has not crossed her mind, because it also has not crossed mine. But if that is a possibility, if something like that ever happened, I think the way her next thought would be is whoever the fuck is doing this knows the prince. And I could be misremembering, because I seem to misremember a lot, how this like illusionary thing works. If it's something that is working on our memories, or if it's someone who knows the person with whom the visage they're essentially borrowing to manipulate things. Either way, if something like that was to happen, I feel like it could go either way. It could be either good or bad. But either way, it's gonna mean that someone knows the prince. Either that she is somehow able to recall more than she knows, and this is somehow being used, which again will give her a better idea of this is the prince. Or someone knows the prince and is able to manipulate. I hope this is making sense.
No, that makes perfect sense. Keep going.
Because it's like again, going back to the fact that if you ask her about her prince, she can't tell you anything. But if they're using Lori's memories to conjure this visage of his mother that is able to dupe, like is able to get a fast one on him in some way, shape, or form, at least initially. For it to work on her, she either needs to know the prince or remember him more than she's aware, or they know him. And either way, it's something that she would want to immediately explore because it gets her to the answer that she has been waiting for 10 years, and it's who is her prince and where the fuck is he? It's kind of why, like, this is a little bit off away from the question, but it somewhat connects, I hope, that when we first saw Sa'un, and this is something I have clung on to because I want to genuinely believe that Logan wouldn't have done this if this wasn't in some way relevant, that when she saw Sa'un, someone who, and it's really weird because Sa'un has been in the pits for as long as since she's seen the prince. He's been in the pits for about 10 years. Yet this time that she is seeing him, that, as far as she knows, is probably the first real time she's gotten to see and interact with this person, which that is something that I have to also call into question, considering that the pits is not this humongous place, but I digress. Why is it seeing him now of all times did Logan need to point out that immediately her prince came to mind? What is it about this man that is tied to her prince?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because I, as a player, know what the prince looks like. Logan gave me that. But Lilia does not know. And trust me when I say Sa'un and the prince look nothing alike. There's actually an NPC that looks closer to the prince than Sa'un. But there's still enough difference that you kind of can't call it. But that person didn't ring the bell. It was Sa'un. So there's something going on here. Sa'un has to be involved in some way, or else this would not have been pointed out.
Mm-hmm.
But again, as I know as a player, they can't be the same two people. But at the same time, I don't know what the fuck's going on. So I could be completely wrong. And the picture that I'm being told is the prince could actually not be anybody important. And it's just Logan being like, here's some breadcrumbs that go nowhere, bitch. So like, I don't know. Follow them. Go run into this wall. Hit it again, just for me. So, but like, it either way, depending on how this word memory manipulation shitty works, if it happens to Lilia, she's immediately going to bite that line and immediately go after it, because if there is memory manipulation shit going on, like with the freaking flower and the parasite and shit, anything that can lead her faster to her prince, if she starts feeling like she's on a timer, like her brain is on a timer, she's going to start charging towards that. She needs to know who this prince is. She needs to know. So, and I mean, again, yeah. She keeps saying prince, because again, that's what comes to mind when she recalls memories of them. But again, she doesn't know who or like what they are. They could be a woman. They could be a non-binary. She just uses prince because it's like it's just the aura, the memory of them that she has left, that it's just like they were kind of princely. But again, she doesn't know anything about them. She can't even recall their voice properly when she tries to, and Logan pointed this out too. It just kind of sounds like an amalgamate of different voices that just kind of blend, that you can't really pinpoint or identify who or what it could come from. And that's weird.
That's so spooky.
Yeah, so that's that thing of also, it's just like, could this person who she is imagining or remembering as a prince, like, is that who they actually are? Is that what they actually looked like? Who are they? It's yeah, and that memory, that all the memory fucky shit is also like very, very like, what's going on here? Yeah. Yeah.
No, I love it. And again, I can feel you worrying about rambling. Never worry about rambling on this show. That's what it's
that thing of like, if it was completely up to her, she would not be letting Sa'un sleep. And I don't mean it in the weird way. She'd be like, you need to talk to me. You need to answer these questions. I am not leaving you alone.
I support you in doing so. Go on, queen.
But at the same time, she's also like, you don't know Sa'un that way. He literally just came into your life, and just because he reminds you of your prince does not mean he's your prince. Do not fall in love with him. Stop it right now. I can hear me swooning.
She's like, listen, bitch, that is me. Get
Just
your
looking
shit
in the mirror,
together.
pointing a finger at, like waving a finger at herself.
Listen to me. No, you listen here, me. You are not going to fall for the first pretty guy that says he looks forward to seeing you. You will not.
Is she okay?
You will not. Your own insecurities as a furry be damned.
He's like, listen, bitch.
there's a whole insecurity that Lilia has about what she is that I've definitely planted little crumbs here and there. But who knows? Maybe next time someone will notice and ask about that, or it might be brought up. But she is one of the few fluffy bunnies in the pits, and the only other fluffy bunny she knew married another fluffy bunny, and they're her parents. So it's like she doesn't know. She's a furry.
Also, Retia is like kind of. Along with elves and Kitsadria, Flooflin are also kind of in that category of like discriminated against, right?
Kind of.
Races, kind of.
Yeah, she is definitely a minority in the pits. And again, as far as I know, there's no other Flooflin in the pits. And like, again, when she thinks about her options, it's gnomes, halflings, and people, and like regular humans. There's no one that looks like her. So there's also that worry of like, who would be interested in a fluffy, in a fluffy. So it's like, even if she found her prince, even if she found somebody that like she likes, what's the possibility that they're gonna be a furry?
It's like, you into bunnies?
Doing the bunnies? Please don't make it weird.
Yeah, and that's a very valid insecurity, honestly.
Mm-hmm. She is very much a minority in the pits.
It's an interesting path to kind of go down with a character like that, because so often we have like Dragonborn and other things like that, and other races where people, like, the players don't really think about it, but I think it is so interesting to actually like think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are some people, it's another moment where I'm like, I think she and Avi would have some things to talk about when it comes to that, actually. Like, at different levels, but like, in some situations, she could maybe be seen as a commodity, like someone wants to like have their fun and see what that would be like, but like they don't want to pursue anything, they're just interested in like, oh, the commodity of it, or like, would people actually care about her, things like that. There's so many different things, and it's like, can someone who's not a fellow Flooflin be interested, even if I'm interested in them? Like, what does that mean? So I think that is honestly a really, really interesting path to go with her. So I'm very excited to see if that ever comes up, like, proper, because that's interesting. I love that.
Yeah. It's also one of the reasons I chose a Flooflin, because I've seen the general cast of Nat 19, and I was like, everyone here is very safe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've got Vogan, who is just a red guy.
Yeah, he's a hobgoblin, so it's not that bad.
We've got Lexi, and she's got the ears and tail. We've got Avi, who's got some feathers and the wings. But everyone is still generally of the, you are relatively still pretty darn human shaped and human looking. Mm-hmm. We don't have a furry in Nat 19.
Nope.
We don't have a furry. We don't have a character that you look at and it's just like, will someone judge me if I say I want to tap that?
Yeah, you're like, we don't have anyone in the cast where they go on your hear me out cake.
Yeah. And while I still think in some way Lilia I could have easily gone just straight up full-blown Foofin, that is a bunny standing up Flooflin, I still chose to go more towards the anthropomorphic furry end. And I know that there are definitely people that would. We're also kind of I'm also still kind of thinking in the fantasy world where it's like, despite having all these races, we don't have a lot of characters that fall into those more outward categories, and still thinking about, can I even ship my character with them?
Yeah. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I'm so here for it. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's fun. That's part of the fun of like games like this, where it's like, playing with those different dynamics and those different plot threads, and it's like, how would this affect how they go, like how they walk through life. I mean, like I've been in an audition class, it's hard to say, where like one of the questions that they tell us to ask ourselves about the characters when we're trying to like connect to them and like build these characters, and it's like, how do they sleep at night? What would my favorite thing is like, what would make them cut a bitch? How do they sleep at night? That is literally one thing that we were told. It's like, what would make them cut a bitch? I'm like, I love that. I'm taking that forever.
Like on your character creation screen, you have a fucking like drop down menu of like the fucking character options that you roll a dice for. It's like, what would make your character cut a bitch? And there's like 8 options. You roll a d8.
Also, it just hit me that I forgot for a brief moment about Rocket, about Ale's character, because he plays an Arcoon. They are Wrench. Why did I think Rocket?
Rocket Raccoon.
He's fantasy Rocket Raccoon.
I'm so sorry.
And even that's what he based it on. So like, it's not even inaccurate.
I just like I was literally like in my head, just like very briefly like scouring the files of like I don't think I'm truly the first furry character, but yeah, no, I just remembered Wrench. But as far as I know, because I unfortunately I haven't seen Vestige, so but I know that Wrench was in the campaign for a good bit, for
like 6 months.
Yeah, but I don't know if the character was ever like available in that sense. So yeah, again, this is where I don't want to make assumptions. Where it's like I don't know if Wrench was a character that was definitely in the runnings, like, yeah, if you're down to fuck a raccoon, here I am. Like, you furry, here we go.
He was trying with the fucking genie lady, wasn't he?
Wrench was DTF. Like,
oh wow,
he was down to fuck, but with Jakku, who is this giant like genie lady. I can't remember she was like 7 feet tall. Wrench was like he was shorter. I think he was 1 inch shorter than Lexi. Let's see, Lexi's 4'3", he was 4'2". He was this tiny little raccoon bitch looking up, and I can remember Alejandro as Wrench going, yeah, what a woman.
Yeah, I was like, no, there's no, I feel so bad that I like even for a brief moment forgot Wrench. But yeah, no, so there has been a furry in Nat 19. I just don't know if there's anyone that's had the insecurities that Lilia has, where it's like, I'm probably DTF, but is anybody else actually DTF? And what does that mean for me, potentially? And yeah, that sort of mindset. It's also because I've also never played a furry character, because I'm such a whore for shipping. But it's like how right, because right now I don't ship Lilia with anyone. So that's where it's just like, where can I see this character going romantically, if that's even a possibility? Because she is such a dreamy and romantic character. She's always like, always waiting for her soap opera moment so that she can fucking thrive in that. But she's at the same time kind of doesn't think it'll ever happen, which is probably why she's also clung to the prince.
Yeah, and it's like clinging to that almost comfortable dream. Would she know what to do with herself if, like, it turned out he was exactly what she thought he was? Like, he was just this wonderful princely guy who, like, gave her these abilities and things like that. Like, do you think she would know what to do with herself if it was everything she ever thought it was?
Oh, I don't know. Because again, like you said, there's comfort in the dream. There's comfort in the dream and in the possibility that it might never happen, so you'll never be confronted with what would you do. There's a part of her that like definitely believes that whatever happened in that flower field that led her to becoming a petal knight, that something happened and that it had to be for a reason. She I don't think, like, if it ever turned out that this kind of just happened randomly, it could have been anyone that fell down this pit, that there was nothing special about her and getting this. I think that in a weird way would kind of break her more. I think it would crush her a little more, that there was just that there's nothing about her that is even remotely special, or like that there's nothing that's like fated for her. She's a very, very dreamy, like, fate and destiny sort of person. So for it to just have been just cuz, and you were just the right time in the right place, it just kind of feels like it shits on everything.
Yeah.
She wouldn't know what to do if presented with this person, like if this person suddenly appeared in front of her. Like, she's thought about it and always kind of run into a dead end of like, I don't know what I would do. Would I thank them? Would I ask them why did they go away? Do they remember her? Why did you do this? Like, that the only thing she can think of is just why? Just why? I want to know why. And there's the fear that whatever answer comes out of their mouth is not going to be a satisfying one. So there's also it doesn't have to be a why. Or maybe I don't have to know the why. But with everything going on, she really wants to know.
I hope she finds out. Mostly.
I hope she finds out too,
to.
and I hope she's able to process it. I hope she's able to process it.
For real.
Or at least in the time beforehand, she is able to figure out how she would process that. Because right now she has no idea.
It's one of those, those frustrating but fun conundrums of TTRPG playing.
Yeah.
It's great. Oh, well, that is all the questions we have for today, and that's all the time we got. So, my lovely beans, why don't you go ahead and promote your fine selves? Let the teenies know where they can find you on the interwebs if you're lurking around those parts. We can start with Eric.
You can find me as Eric VA on both Twitter and Blue Sky. I'm probably going to be kicking around Blue Sky a little more these days than Twitter. So you can find me there, and yeah, that's about it. Actually, I'm on Thursdays for Princes right now, and yeah, that's me.
Hell yeah, brother. Eric's also an absolutely incredible editor, and he does all of the edits for my personal TikToks for all my VTube and stuff, and is super incredible. So anything that you watch there that's funny and great and well edited, that's all Eric. So thank you for uploading all my ish, because I wouldn't do it otherwise.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You're
you're so
welcome.
talented and wonderful. Get loved on,
Funny.
you nerd. And funny. Absolute meme lord, this one. We love him here. What about you? And na. Where can we find you on the interwebs?
Well, you can find me also on Twitter and Blue Sky. You can also find me on YouTube and Twitch as Squeaky Chiona. So that's Squeaky Chiona. I know some people sometimes have a hard time spelling that part. And I'm mostly kind of just doing my own little stuff kind of on those platforms. With Twitch mainly streaming on the weekends. I stream right after Gilligan's Grave. So that's Saturday nights, and I stream also Sunday and Monday afternoons.
Hells yeah.
All right,
I love
yeah.
your streams. They're so good.
Heckin' Monday game. Monday, just because Summoners Network Zelda game. I can promote it now because we don't have a thing going on Monday anymore. I can not feel bad about promoting it over our stuff.
Yeah, we're there too.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, you guys are great. I just love y'all's like streams and listening to y'all roleplay and stuff like that. I sometimes like tune in. I don't usually say anything in the chat, but I'll come in and lurk and be like, "Those are my friends." I'll lurk and listen to y'all. I'm like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm just hearing my friends roleplay and have fun. That's all I care about. Heck yeah. Well, I suppose if you want to find more of me on the interwebs, it's mostly me shitposting. I'm gonna be real. You can find me on Twitter as well as Blue Sky at Haybale Voice. That's Haybale Voice. You can also find me as Scylla Aria, the non-binary fairy Fani. SYLLAARIA on both Blue Sky and Twitter. I'm also on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and primarily Twitch doing streams. I've been doing some solo D&D, which we will be continuing very soon. We'll be continuing and finishing our first little mini solo campaign, and then we'll just keep doing them as long as Obvious Mimic keeps making them, so yeah. So that's where you can find me, and again, all the edits are done by Eric, because he's wonderful and amazing and super talented, and I wouldn't be doing all this ish without him. We wouldn't be at almost 70,000 subscribers on YouTube without him. That's
About to
crazy
bid farewell to
cupcakes.
69.
I know.
70.
GG.
It's a bittersweet experience.
The fact that we got 6969, like 69696, I think we got. I was like, let's go!
Yeah.
I was so happy. It was so good. I was like, we don't need any more subs. We could end here, and I would be like, we did it.
Delete the channel.
We delete the channel. We did it. We pull in Unis Honest. We're like, we're done. We did what we needed to do.
We did the thing.
But if you want more Nat 19, remember you can tune in sometimes Tuesdays when we feel like gaming, but Wednesdays for gaming streams with myself and Braden Alexander, alternating with Wits and Crits. Thursdays for Princes of the Apocalypse, and Gilligan's Grave runs on Saturdays. If you're interested in our merchandise or you just want to know more information about our team and shows, you can visit our website at nat19show.com. That is nat19show.com. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye!
Bye-bye!
Bye-bye.